Hey everybody, it's the Filthy Casual, and today I'm going to review the new live action version of Beauty and the Beast done by Disney. Now, there are some things that I like about this movie and some things that I don't like as much. And I say don't like as much because there's not really anything to complain about with this movie. Um, yeah, there are things that just aren't as good as I would have wanted them to be, but aren't awful. Um, but this is a really good movie, and everyone should go out and see it. I'm not going to give a numerical rating. I'm not going to give a number of stars because I don't do that kind of thing. I tell you what I like about it. I tell you what I don't like about it. And I give a few spoilers for those who have already seen it. Um, but nothing too big that if you haven't seen it, it's going to ruin it for you. Um, Plus, it's a plot that everyone knows. It's literally a tale as old as time. So, first off, the things that I love about this movie. One was the added content because they took what was an 85-minute movie when you look at the animated 1991 Beauty and the Beast, 85 minutes, just under an hour and a half. But then this one was 2 hours and 10 minutes. And you say, okay, so they're taking it from 85 minutes all the way up to 130. How are they going to add 45 minutes of content to Beauty and the Beast? And you think, okay, well, they're just going to kind of milk it and put in a whole lot of stuff that isn't necessary. And that was my concern going in. I thought, how can they add that much time and make it good? But I was blown away by how they did it. The content that they added answered a lot of the questions raised by the animated Beauty and the Beast. Um, for the most part, it answered those questions, such as why don't people know about this prince in his castle, as well as the whole timing paradox. Because one of the things in the animated Beauty and the Beast that you may have noticed, and maybe you just never thought about it, was that the prince had to fall in love by his 21st birthday. And it had been 10 years since he'd been cursed, which means that the prince was 11 years old in the animated movie when he denied the enchantress the opportunity to stay the night. And so, due to the actions of an 11-year-old, she cursed him and everyone who worked there. And that was kind of dumb. It was something a lot of people realized, and it seemed very much like overkill. But this movie solves that by taking away any mention of number of years or of age. It's just he denied her, she cast this curse, and by the time the last petal falls from the rose, he has to fall in love and be loved in return. And so I think that was an excellent way of doing it. They got rid of the questions without creating more opportunities for questions. And making it so that the villagers forgot about the prince and the castle and the people there. That makes a lot of sense because that says, like, why don't all these people know about this prince who until recently was throwing all these parties? I also love what they added with the beast and his personality because in the 85-minute animated movie, a lot of it was very shallow and it didn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would Belle fall in love with him? But in this one, we find out, oh, he likes to read books just like she does. They have a whole lot to talk about. He's actually very well educated in this movie. And they mention that. They say he had a very expensive education. Um, as a teacher, I need to mention an expensive education does not equal the best education, but I'm not going to rant about that. It's something for another time. But they gave Belle and the Beast something to talk about. And it was important that they do that so that there's an actual basis for the relationship. Something I didn't like as much was the music in this one. And it wasn't bad music, but it wasn't great. The soundtrack from the 91 version of Beauty and the Beast is better than the soundtrack from this one. The songs are done better there. They, they hired actors for this one, which is good. If you have to choose between someone who's a great singer and someone who's a great actor for a movie, pick the great actors who can kind of sing as opposed to the great singers who can kind of act. Because kind of acting takes you out of the entire movie. Kind of singing doesn't really take you out of it. It's just not as good of music. That's okay. It's not awful. That is what I don't like as much. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is LeFou. Both for great reasons and for kind of like, come on reasons. The great thing is his character isn't just some dumb yes man in this movie. Now, he kind of starts that way, and that it is implied to be because of his sexuality, because he is gay in this movie. Not that they explicitly state that because it's Disney, but he is, and it's pretty obvious from the beginning. And as the movie goes on, you can see that he becomes less and less okay with the crap that Gaston is pulling. And by the end of the movie, he's had a complete change of heart, and he's not going to just follow Gaston around and blindly do what he says anymore. And I think that is excellent. Even in the song, as the villagers are marching to the castle, he has this line about how he's not sure if the right beast is being set free, or something along those lines. That was a really excellent line to include to just continue the growth of LeFou as a character who doubts Gaston and what it means to follow him. Now, the "oh, come on" thing with LeFou is this whole gay controversy. Like, having seen the movie where people are celebrating or condemning the big gay Disney moment, like, that's it? I'm not going to say what it is for those of you who haven't seen the movie. I don't think it's a big deal, but some people might think of it as like this big spoilery thing. But really, like, that's what people are complaining about. That is what people are celebrating. Like, the end of the movie, the big gay Disney moment, is not any different. It doesn't more or less reference his sexuality than anything in the rest of the movie does. Maybe it makes it a little more clear, but nothing's explicitly stated, for one. And come on, like, that's it? That's what people are freaking out about? I think we can do better. Like, as a society, I think there are things that we can focus on more. Like, I don't care what side you're on of the gay marriage debate. And ultimately, like, it's part of our culture. Like, if you're against gay marriage at this point, you need to understand that that is part of our culture. And you can be against gay marriage. You can have the beliefs that you have. But you just have to accept that what is part of our culture is part of our culture. Because you don't see people making this same fuss about divorce. Now, I don't like divorce. I think divorce is a horrible thing. I come from a family of divorce. But I don't go to a movie and say, hey, this movie has divorce, we should boycott it. And I think the same needs to be true of movies like this. It is not about LeFou's sexuality. It is not glorifying his sexuality. He's just gay. Like, get over it. It's a part of life. It's a part of our society. Get over it. That's not what this video was supposed to be about, so I'm done with that rant. I loved this movie. I really did. Again, if you like this video, feel free to like it. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. They're not coming out every week. It's more infrequent based on when something comes out that I feel like it's going to be fun to review. So like, subscribe, click on the next video that I do, and thanks a lot for watching.